Okay.
Welcome to Addiction of a Lifetime. This episode, I'm recapping The Bride He Bought Online, which is a crazy movie with so many twists and turns. It is outrageous. So basically, these three teenage girls are like best friends. They're seniors in high school. This one girl is really obsessed with blogging and like YouTubing and pranking and posting online to get attention and getting a lot of followers. For example, she does this prank where she sets off all these phones to go off during a test and records her teacher getting annoyed. Puts online, she wants to take things a step further. So she goes on like one of these mail order bride sites and is like talking crap to friends about how lame these guys are for like having to order their brides from other like countries and stuff because they can't find anyone here and paying for it. So she makes a fake profile with like a random picture she finds of this girl. And she befriends like this old man. And like it's like I love you, like fly me out, da da da. He like wires her money. This girl gets like hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to this guy. And her friend's like, that's pretty extreme. Like this prank has gone too far. And she's like, no, I'm gonna be a YouTube star. I'm gonna be like, I won't have to go to college. I'm gonna be like viral famous. And so they go to the airport and watch this guy show up. Because the lady, he paid money for like the plane ticket for her to come out. And they film the girl not coming out and him being disappointed. And while they're doing this, the girl's going to fight with the main girl because it's like, this has gone too far. And one of the girls storms out and takes the cab home. The guy kind of notices three girls fighting in the distance, but ignores it. He realizes to sit up, he puts all this money. He goes home and he's like super smart. It's like IT. So he starts like tracing the like IP address and like all this stuff and realizes that the email address that he's been using to message her, like, it belongs to the girl, and he finds her social media accounts, finds all three of the girls' social media accounts, realizes he's been basically catfished, and plots his revenge. So he, like, starts stalking them on, like, all their pages, and finds some random dude on the street, who's a young kid, pays him money to pretend to, like, be just a kid that just moved to the neighborhood, and then takes his game card to get their personal, like, phone information. And then the guy gets the girl's number, and his game card gets it to the guy. So now the grown man is texting her as the kid, so he's catfishing her. The girl's parents are at house. She's having like this party, and the other girl's bored, and she gets a text from the guy. She thinks it's the cute kid's skate park. It's a really creepy old man. She goes to the skate park right when she's about to close. She convinces her friend to come with her, and no one's there, obviously. Her friend gets annoyed. This is stupid. This is insane. I'm leaving. As her friend leaves the skate park, the guy grabs her and like kidnaps her and takes her like to his house, or not to his house, this creepy warehouse. So he like captures her and ties her up. And the friend is so stupid and oblivious. She's like, oh, she probably went home with that guy. Oh, I hate her. And like goes home, and like her parents aren't home either. The guy's like waiting for her, kidnaps her. The other girl, his parents are down at the party. She's like watching TV, all of a sudden like the lights go off. He kidnaps her, he kidnaps each of them like random times that night. Ties all three of them up. The girl's like talking so much crap. It really started her off. And he's like, don't worry, I have plans for you guys. Don't you know that women in other countries can't talk to men like this? You're lucky you're in America. I'll show you how you're supposed to act towards a man. Then he finds he's like.
When I got this recap, now that I see how he behaves towards women, I'm like, Kaylee was right. Y'all might be in defense of John. Now, what Kaylee did was very wrong. She shouldn't have played with his feelings like that. And I do agree that it was a bad idea to prank him because he is a murderer and doing this can cause problems. But in all honesty, I mean, technically Kaylee was actually right about him. And I'm not saying this just because I don't like him or just to appease people's feelings. I genuinely mean this. If I was trying to appease people's feelings, I would have been in his defense and not Kaylee's because that's where people are going. Or I would have tried to hold my tongue back a little bit. But I'm not. And the way you can tell is I'm not in his defense. I'm not in defense of a kidnapper who sold girls into sex slavery who were just seniors in high school. That's how I'm not appeasing people. This man is like If you were in another country, you wouldn't talk like that, and etc. Here's how girls are supposed to act. Basically, if he had gotten with a mail order bride and she had showed up, like they said, you want to know what would happen? Exactly this. He probably would have sold her into sex slavery. He probably would have abused her. It probably would have been chauvinistic, etc. Because this is exactly how he treated those 3 teenage girls. I mean, I know he was mad at them for that, because technically it is kind of humiliating to be stood up like that and posted online, but you were just stood up. Like, I guess it could be bad to be seen as like an idiot for believing it, but realistically, while being stood up does hurt, it's like, it's not one of those things that you can't get past. It's something you can totally get past. You can walk away. It's not like you poured poop on people and shoved it all over your face because somebody told you to. You know, like, everyone gets stood up every once in a while. No one kills people and has them sold into sex slavery for it. This is something that he could truly get over, something that he could grow past, that he never grew past. But basically, when I hear her say that he was like, this is how women are, you'll be taught how women are supposed to act, so he puts them into sex slavery, and the simple fact that he has connections to where he can put somebody into sex slavery and goes through all that work, and knows the exact people to sell them to, shows me that most likely he's done this before because he's just done it so easily. He knew how to kidnap. He set everything up. He hired a freaking male prostitute and everything, which, if this is a true story, could have been one of his own prostitutes.
Guys online in the dark web that he tried to traffic them to, but he's like still just an average guy, still stupid about it. He's like, give me the money and I'll give you the girl. So the guy like beat him, takes the big mouth girl, like the one that's going to start all this, and like take her away, and he gets scared. He tries to get the two girls back to like his secret lair, ties them up. He like in over his head. Meanwhile, the girl's family's like, where are our kids? And they're going to the police. They're trying to figure out. They don't know what's happening. So like, basically, he has this neighbor who's like comes over and flips him sometimes. She's like, you're not, you look kind of different nowadays. What's wrong? He like confessed to her what he did. She like realized this man's crazy. He has like girls hostages somewhere. I need to find out where they are to save them. So she pretends to go along with it. I'll help you have a gun. Like, I'll help you find the right minute traffic for them. So he takes her to like his secret place. She like tricks him, tries to shoot him to get the girls to run away, but he pulls out his gun and shoots her, and she's dead, but the girls are still running away and stuff. The girls also managed to take the lady's cell phone, call their mom, who calls the detective, and they bring the police to like try to find them at the warehouse that they're at. There's like a shootout in the warehouse when the cops come, and the guy like kills himself or whatever, and they never find out what happened to their friend. And it's just a very like catfishing gone wrong story. I guess the moral is don't catfish or you could be human trafficked. Alright, well that was the Bride He Bought Online. Thank you for watching Addiction of a Lifetime. I'm your host, Adriana Kamau. Check back for more updates.
Pretty much. I do feel like this could have been the moral of the movie. I do wish there would have been more sympathy for the girls. Even if Kaylee did do this, I wish people would have realized the severity and not thought Kaylee deserved it. Because this was wrong. This was worse than, like, just standing a guy up and making some prank video. People the guy's never going to see in his entire life. All of that was just wrong. Basically, I know some people are like, so what, you're the type of woman to play with men's feelings. No, I'm not. I mean, I don't want to play with people's feelings. The problem is that if you're the type of dude to sell a woman into sex slavery, you're actually effectively worse. That's the thing. You should never do that. Yet there's a line you can't cross. What he did, he crossed the line. He wasn't just over his head. He crossed the line. One of the reviews says that the characters had no character development, saying the meanest girl remained the meanest. Now, realistically speaking, the meanest girl, this is kidnapping. If you take a person who is generally mean and you kidnap them, they're gonna be generally mean. They're gonna be annoying. They're gonna be rude. There was a movie, remember 13 Reasons Why? One of the girls said it was hard, a person said that it was hard to sympathize with the girl who committed suicide because she wasn't the most likable character, she wasn't the nicest person. However, a person commented, because the person that said this was a therapist, the person commented to the therapist's response saying, well, I grew up in I was abused, I was raped, and growing up, I was not the nicest person. I wasn't all peaches and sunshine. We're not always the peaches and sunshine and the completely perfect, happy people. Some of us are just upset and angry and, basically a product of the environment. So while the movie isn't based on one specific case, Conrad says she was inspired to write the film by various cases of cyberbullying and juvenile crime. Conrad has a master's degree in criminal justice from Boston University, and her studies focus on cybercrime and juvenile delinquency. They said that this movie is a movie with so much gray area where no one is completely or totally right or wrong. Completely right or totally wrong. In this scenario, this man kidnapped these girls, kept them in a basement, and sold them into sex slavery. You could say he was trying to teach them a lesson, but this went too far. He was completely in the wrong. That is not a gray area. And the girl was wrong for pranking him like that. That is not a gray area. But the thing is that it's not like what he did is still ultimately worse. I would still, if you're a child watching this, legit. The writer said when Lifetime finally saw it, they said, this is one of the darkest movies that we've ever done because of the ending. Conrad hints, you start out with the girls and they're so terrible to this guy, doing something so wrong and so mean. When it's flipped and he takes his revenge, I wanted the audience to say they were mean, but they didn't deserve that. That is what I felt. But that is not what some people said. Some of them actually said they were mean and they deserved it. They should not have done that because it did really hurt him. But, legit, if you're a normal, regular guy, listen, if a woman stands you up, it is not let me put it this way. What if a woman actually did stand him up? So, maybe for her own reasons, maybe she just didn't want to be on, maybe she was scared, because it was an internet dude. So, basically, he goes and he sells her into sex slavery and kidnaps her, which is probably what would have happened since he went searching for the woman who did this on the internet. He probably would have done the exact same thing. This is not a completely gray area movie. There's a lot of bad things that happened. But what he did just rips the cord, just cuts the cord. The reason why the characters don't like him, the reason why the characters still don't like him in the end is because of what he did. He did something that would make the mean girl stay mean. Because if you take a mean person and do horrible things to them, they're not going to be nice to you. They're going to be mean to you. Because not only is that how they are, that's how anyone would be. If you took a really nice person and you tried to sell her into sex slavery, she wouldn't just be begging for her life. She would hate you. Deep down, she would hate you and hope you went to prison.